I am here in Chicago, Illinois, and today I'm going to be flying in British Airways First Class on board a Boeing 747-400 from here in Chicago right the way back to London Heathrow in the UK. And I'm not doing it the easy way, I'm going with these monkeys. This is going to be a fun trip. Let's head to the airport and get back to London on the British Airways Boeing 747. The first problem today was to get across Chicago to O'Hare Airport. The traffic was incredible. We arrived at O'Hare's International Terminal and headed inside to the BA check-in. Come on, wrong door, Anna.
You need to smack them in the feet.
Oh no, we don't want that, do we? Right, squeeze forward. Squeeze forward.
Oh, first class here. Wow, you
I
guys
know.
have really great seats. Wow.
I hope so.
And they really need the bigger bed, don't they?
Well, of course.
Seats. And thank you so much for flying with us.
No problem. Thank you. I've got all the passports in here.
You're going to need it when they take me through, so...
Yeah, okay. And we've got...
Oh, I love
And what's it say on the other side, babe? Show on the other
flip
side.
up things.
Oh,
Two-way.
come on.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Have a good afternoon. Thank you. After security, we headed down to the BA lounges. The BA lounges here at O'Hare are split in quite a weird way. You have the BA Terraces Lounge on one side of the concourse and the First Class Lounge on the other, but the First Class dining that you get before the flight actually takes place in the Terraces Lounge, so you have to eat your dinner there and then head across the concourse to the First Class Lounge.
So are you wishing I can take you right in then to dining?
Okay, yeah, that would be nice.
And
Alright.
first class diners, do you want to come with me then?
Our table was soon ready and we headed through to get our pre-flight dining. Thank you. First class passengers get access to this really nice little restaurant before they fly. You can get a full 3-course meal plus wine and champagne and everything before you head across to sit in the first class lounge to wait for your flight. What do you think, Sam?
No, she's earning.
This is quite hot.
Does it beat McDonald's?
No.
You prefer McDonald's?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you? Does it beat McDonald's for you? Yeah? And what about you?
Sorry, what was the
Does it beat McDonald's?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Oh,
So do you know what all this cutlery is for then?
yeah. Starters, mains, soup, dessert.
So do you want the watermelon and crabs?
The menu here is eye-watering indeed, and you get some incredible food.
You want this salad, the toy box salad?
I opted for the fish, which was really tasty indeed.
Flick it out.
Not quite like that. Put it on. No. Come on. Cheers. To a good trip.
No. Don't look like butter beans.
Once we'd finished the incredible pre-flight dining, we headed back across the concourse to the first class lounge. This lounge is really nice, if a little bit compact. The problem today was that both BA flights were delayed, so there were 2 planes full of passengers all sitting in the lounge at the same time. Sweetheart, move that away. Hello, how are you? Here we go, thank you. Despite it being busy, it's still a really nice little space.
Mommy.
You also get some great views of the aircraft movements here, out of the window across the apron. I don't know about you, but I find Royal Jordanian's livery to be one of the best in the world. It looks even more special on this Boeing 787 Dreamliner. It was soon time to head down to the gate where our aircraft was getting ready for departure. How are you doing? As we waited to board our flight, the second BA flight of the day, an A380, pulled into the gate. Our ride over to London this evening was on board this BOAC liveried Boeing 747. BA have painted 3 of their 747s in their retro liveries to celebrate their 100th anniversary. This was the first one that they unveiled in the classic BOAC livery from the 1950s and 60s. Hey there, how are you?
Maybe not. Thank you so much. What's your name?
Anna.
Anna.
Anna, there's Anna. There, you take yours?
Yes.
Can I show for it?
Oh yes, sure.
Sweetie, you want to do me a favor? Want to be a helper? Can you hold this paper? If you put it in a white shirt until they turn the plate.
Hang on, Anna. Hello there. Hiya.
Welcome on board. Sorry
Hiya.
to keep you waiting.
Oh, no problem at all.
Oh.
Fine. More time to enjoy the flight. So.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right, down here then, sweetheart. Are you with us? No.
Keep my grandma busy, okay?
Are we alright to come through? Thank you.
So I've got
So we are four.
two this side and two the other
Lovely.
side.
So we'll go to the other side and let Mummy come. Hello there. Hi. Right, you guys going to go that to this side? You're row 4. Well, we'll go through there. Okay.
The British Airways First Class cabin is situated right up here in the nose of the jumbo.
Oh, Mummy's sitting in this aisle, in this one.
This configuration has 2 rows of 4 in a 1-2-1 configuration at the back of the cabin, and then there's 3 rows of 2 with 1 on either side of the cabin at the front of the aircraft.
Thank you.
I'll come and see you. Jealous. Look who you got right next to you.
The first class suites themselves are really cool and very private indeed. I'll give you a tour of the seat in more detail later on in the flight. Right. We were given a glass of champagne and some nuts as the flight was still boarding, and the kids got a glass of orange juice. Placed around the seat area while we boarded were this amazing BA100 amenity kit. I'll go through the details of that later in the flight. There was also a pair of slippers, and the cabin crew came round handing out pyjamas as well. Sitting here in the nose of the jumbo really is a unique experience. You get to hear so many things that you wouldn't ordinarily hear. For example, during pushback, we could hear the tug underneath us, revving its engine to push us back. Ready for takeoff?
Yep, I'm ready for take.
From right up here in the nose as well, the engines are really quiet. We lifted off into the night skies of Chicago as the nose wheel slammed shut right beneath our feet. Our route for this evening then took us east out of Chicago overhead Lake Michigan, heading across towards Toronto and flying up towards New Brunswick and Newfoundland in Canada. From there we crossed the Atlantic, hitting the south coast of Ireland and flying over South Wales to begin our approach down into Heathrow Airport. Flight time today was 7 hours and 12 minutes at a cruising altitude of 37 and 38,000 feet.
So here in the first class toilet on board a Boeing 747-400. It's not really much different to any other toilets. You kind of have a few bits and pieces around here. You have a loo with a view, albeit were it not the middle of the night and you're not able to see anything, but hey, never mind. But also in first class, you get this. You get a little changing seat here. Lets you sit on it and get changed into your lovely British Airways pyjamas that they very kindly provide you. They don't make these for real size, man.
Let's take a quick look through the dining options on tonight's flight. For dinner we had canapes, with a starter of either fillet of beef, salmon tartare, chickpea soup or seasonal mixed leaf salad. The main course was then a choice of a veal chop, Chilean sea bass or mezzi rigatoni. Then there was a cheese board, and after that was a dessert of a lemon meringue pie or vanilla ice cream or chocolates. The wine list in first class is absolutely incredible. Laurent Perrier champagne, that's the main champagne on offer on the menu, is over £120 a bottle. Personally, I couldn't really taste the difference between that and a £20 bottle of champagne, but then I'm no wine expert. I opted to take the salmon tartare for my starter. For the main course I took the veal chop. It was absolutely incredible. The kids were given a separate meal as well. They got their own kids meal, which was also presented in a really nice manner. So how are we enjoying it so far, young man?
It's really good actually. Although the system's rebooted and I was in the middle of watching a film.
He was in the middle of watching a film and they rebooted the IFE system, but it's back on again now.
Yeah.
So we're good. And he's ready to watch. What are you watching, Sam?
I was watching you might have heard of it, it's called Midnight Gang.
The Midnight Gang.
By David Williams. It's a film.
Is it good? Is it good?
Yeah.
Excellent. During the reboot of the in-flight entertainment system, among a couple of other things I lost was the ability to control the overhead light, which was stuck in the on position. The cabin crew came up with this ingenious way of blocking out the light to let me sleep. One thing I will say so far is the cabin crew have been absolutely fantastic with the kids. Even up here in the first class cabin, the service has been incredible. The crew are really engaging with the kids, and certainly we don't feel out of place bringing kids into the first class cabin, which is something I was a little bit concerned about, I have to admit, but the crew have made us all feel really confident, and the kids are just enjoying it as much as we are, really. The cabin crew came around to make my bed, and I settled down to get a good night's sleep. Right, so the bed is made up. I'm going to try and get some sleep, and I will speak to you in the morning. Good night. I got around 5 hours sleep on tonight's flight, and I woke up just off the coast of Southern Ireland in time for breakfast. After 2 weeks in the States, it was so great to finally get a full English breakfast with brown sauce, of course. So now we have a bit of daylight, let's take a quick look around the first class suite on board the BA 747. First things first, there's a huge closet that you can hang your clothes in, as well as an area at the bottom where you can store your shoes. The TV screen pops out of the side of the seat like this, and it's quite a nice size to enjoy the same in-flight entertainment options that you get in the rest of the plane. I'll run through that a little bit later on. There's a coat tuck down here at the front, as well as a space to rest your feet or just store blankets on, as I tend to do. The headphones are a pretty decent quality as well. They're made by Meridian, and they're an amazing quality sound compared to some of the terrible headphones that you get on some airlines. The footrest at the foot end of the bed does slide down to make a normal footstool as well. Underneath the footstool there's a 3-pin power socket to charge your laptop or something, as well as a little bit of storage down there as well. BA First Class has this huge pane of glass thing going on with a folding window blind behind it. Whilst it looks really nice, it's not really that great for taking video or photos out of the window. Bearing in mind on the 747 you're quite a way forward of the engines as well, so you don't get any view of the wing whatsoever, even from the back row of first class. There's USB power, and you can control the window blinds from here as well. The seat's controlled using this little dial thing here. Above it you have the options to turn on and off the little lamp at the side of you, the lamp being a really nice touch that helps to give the BA First Class suite a really homely feel. The controls for the seat recliner are in this little dial here, which I think is really cool. It glows blue most of the time in the flight, and then when it turns to green it means the seat's in the takeoff and landing position, which means the cabin crew can quite easily see whether your seat's in the right position for landing or takeoff. Underneath the dial you've got other options to control other seat functions too. There's storage for documents and magazines and things at the side of your seat, underneath the little table area. The table pops out of the armrest like this. You press it down and it pops up and slides out in front of you. It's a really big table that gives you plenty of space to have your dinner on. In common with the rest of the first class suite, it has a really good homely feel to it as well. Overall, I really enjoyed the first class suite on the BA 747. It does feel really nice and comfortable. It's like sitting in your living room at home. In the lie flat position or sitting up, the bed is really comfortable as well. The amenity kits are of the Temperley London brand and are in this wonderful commemorative BA 100 bag. BA have two first class amenity kits, a blue one for the guys and a red one for the ladies. The blue one has men's toiletries and a hairbrush, whilst the ladies has ladies skincare products and a mirror. Both sets come with this lovely BA 100 pen. All of the toiletries are of the Elemis brand and the kit is incredible quality. I've been told all in all they're worth over £100 each. I should point out here that before the in-flight entertainment system was rebooted the night before, I had a much bigger range of stuff to access here on the IFE, but since the reboot I only had access to a few TV shows, movies and audio programmes. There was no in-flight map or anything. Pretty soon though an in-flight map wasn't needed as I looked out of the window and spotted what could only be Heathrow Airport as we were on the downwind leg to runway 9 left. The tranquility of the cabin was soon interrupted by the nose landing gear coming down right underneath us. We touched down just over 3.5 hours late, back into London Heathrow. Now here comes the crunch. How much does BA's flagship product set you back? Well, normally this flight retails for well over £10,000 or $12,000 but we took advantage of BA's incredible January sale, meaning this flight in first class cost us just £863 each or $1,000. For a flight of almost 4,000 miles, this works out to just 22 pence per mile. This return flight also took us all straight to BA's bronze status. Overall, what can I say to BA's first class but just one word: wow. Let's start with the cabin crew, who were absolutely second to none. They treated us like family and really looked after all of us. Thank you very much, lovely flight, thank you. Thank you. Come on, dude. Oh, there we go. The seats in the cabin were lovely. There wasn't a single air of snobbishness either. It felt just like being at home.
Thanks very much. Have a great
I could just have easily been sat on the sofa at home in my living room than on board a Boeing 747, and it's stuff like this that BA do really well.
Right, so we are back here at Heathrow Airport after our ride in first class. What do we think, guys?
It was amazing.
Yeah, really.
Did you enjoy it, kids?
Really. Yeah.
Don't get used to it, will you?
I'm not flying any other way now.
Oh no.
For my first ever long haul first class flight, I was incredibly impressed. BA pulled it out of the bag once again. Have you ever flown long haul first class before? Let me know your best experiences down in the comments.
So here then, back at Heathrow Airport Terminal 5 in London. Fantastic flight over with BA in first class, easily ranked as probably my favourite flight to date. And to top it all off, we got on the BOAC 747 as well. Slightly delayed, but it's not the end of the world. Who cares about a delay when you're in a first class cabin on a British Airways Jumbo? These guys have been amazing. Although they're very tired now, especially Mummy. The kids have behaved really well on the flight, very pleased with them. I'm hoping they're going to sleep on the way home because they spent the entire night watching movies on the screen.
Can I just say, all the cabin crew thought the kids were amazing and were really happy with them, so
Thumbs
well
up.
done, kids.
Thumbs up to the kids. Cabin crew were absolutely fantastic with the kids as well.
Right, we're going to go and get a taxi back to our car and then head back to the Midlands. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care, and I'll see you next time here on In-Flight Video.